Today we are going to review reservation settings. First, toggle over to reservations, use the 9-dot icon, select reservations, the tabs here on the side, and then select settings. Here's your general settings for all your reservations. Select the edit icon. The first field is lead time. This is the lead time you require for reservations to be made on the website. So if you require 24 hours prior, you put 24 hours here. Availability start time and end time. These are the drop-down menu options that will be on the front-end website when someone's booking a reservation. Availability start, guest count on the web, and end guest count on the web is again the drop-down menus that will be available on the front end. Let's look at the signature tasting. We have 1 to 15 for guest count and 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the reservation time. The last field is availability start guest count and end guest count for the admin. And then select save. Next, we recommend that you add your reservation locations. So select the locations tab. Top right, add a location and give it a title. This title is not customer facing. Next, you have the option between table seating or communal seating, and I'll show you an example of both. A start date is required. You can include an end date, or you can leave it blank. For table seating, you have sub-locations. So this is where you'll start entering all the tables. Name, property map code. If you're using the property map, this can be changed. Just ensure that it's the same. Minimum guest, maximum guest per table, and just continue to enter all your tables that you have in that specific location. If you're adding a communal location, give it a title, select communal, start date, give the area a name, and maximum guests for that area, and save your location. All your locations will be listed under the locations tab and will define what kind of seating. There's one thing to note, that once you save a location, you can edit the information except the table, the seating type. So if you have a table seating and you want to change it to communal, you have to create a new location. In addition, you can add blackout dates to each location. So you can enter the start and end date. After you have all your locations set up, you can head over to reservation types. Top right, add a reservation type. Add a title. This is customer facing. Next, select the type. Don't worry if your experience doesn't fall exactly into tasting or tour. This is for segment and reporting purposes mostly. Now you can select your seating type. If you select communal seating, then the default reservation location will list all of the communal locations that you have created. If you select table seating, the default reservation location will populate all of the table seating locations that you have created. The default location is what location the reservation will be booked. This can be changed and edited after. Inventory location. These are all your pickup inventory locations. And this inventory location is used for tax purposes. So for example, mine's the tasting room location. So when a guest books this experience, the taxes that are charged will be based on this inventory location. Next, you enter in a minimum guests in the group and maximum guests in a group. And maximum groups in one time slot. So here, if you can accommodate 4 groups in one time slot, you enter in 4. If you can only accommodate 1 group per time slot, then you enter in 1. Department, select the department, and minutes allotted. So this number is not tied to the reservation time slots that you have set up. For example, if you have a 2-hour reservation that starts at 12, but also offer 12:30 time slot, then the 12:30 time slot will still be available for booking. So just put an accurate amount of minutes allotted for each reservation type that you create. Minutes before location is used. Specify how long before a location the default location is used. So for example, let's say the private tasting begins with a short 15-minute tour around the estate before arriving at the tasting room location. In this scenario, then we'd put 15. Next, you can check off if your reservation type requires a host. Just note that if it does require a host, you'll have to add the host before the reservation is complete. You can also check off if this reservation will always take place in the default location. If you don't have this checked off, then you can edit the location. Next, you'll add a date that the reservation type is available. It's optional to add an end date. Add an image. In content, you want to include all of the details of your experience and any information that your guest needs to know. Next, you'll add your SKUs and price. So you have a tasting, call it tasting 1, and put your price. You can have one experience, or you can continue to add additional. These will show as options when the guest is booking the reservation. And then just remember to save. Next, you'll be entering all your reservation time slots. They go by days of the week. You have time slots on Sunday. And just remember to enter in the times properly. And if you want to book, if this time slot's available online, check off the box. If you want time slots that are not available to book online, but still available for admin to book, then don't check off the box. So you'll have to do it for all the days of the week that this reservation type is available. Next, you can edit the meta tag title, the meta tag description, and the slug. And then add your reservation type. You can look to the front end. And this is what your guest will see. There is one thing to note. Once you've created a reservation type and that reservation type has been used in a booked reservation, it can no longer be deleted. If you no longer want to use a reservation type, you can give it an inactive status by changing the date so it's no longer available. Then it won't appear as an option on the front end. There are a few other options under settings, notices, which are similar to how notices work in the rest of the Commerce7 admin panel. Add a notice. This is great for staff information and updates, and they appear right on your dashboard. Next, under settings, you have blackout dates, and these are blackout dates for all reservations. So the customer will not be able to book an experience on these dates or during this time slot. So add a blackout date. enter in the title, the date, and you can enter in the time. This is great for special occasions or staff training or anything else where you just want to block the availability of those reservations. Next is third parties. This is essentially any third parties or referrals that you get for reservations. You can add a third party, give it a title, add the third party, and then when you book a reservation from the back end, you can opt to attach a third party to the booking. You can track and review referrals and third party bookings. And then there's staff. You can add your staff members, add their last name, email, if they're active or not active, and their availability. This is important if you do require a host, and then these will be the staff that you assign your reservations to. And that's it.